Good afternoon. Welcome to another New York session. I hope you are doing well. It's a Thursday, 20th of February 2025. Okay, and we are live again. Let's start with the dollar index as usual. Okay, so over the course of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I was anticipating the high of the week to form, and it seems that we have it on Wednesday. So yesterday during the live session, I did mention to watch this fair value gap and see if we can close below the gap, because if we could close below the gap, then that would indicate that we will be going lower, and then we will be breaking this down candle, but that wasn't the case, and then they made one more run. Now that was still within the fair value gap on the daily. So if you go into the daily, that's the daily gap here, and the high of the gap comes in at 107.18. so anywhere above that level, the high of the week could form, and we happen to form it at that 1 hour fair value gap over here, and then price rejected. Now if you look at the same scenario, right, looking at the gap, I apologize, I've got a bit of cold over here, block nose. So that's the same level, similar to that one, right? If you place a line right there, as soon as price was able to close through that, that was it. Price never looked back. Okay, so this being a run into the gap and trading through another gap here, whilst we're expecting lower prices for the week, confirms that we have a high of the week in place, and then price follow through to go down, right? So I'm expecting them to continue going down from here. Maybe we might have a little bit of challenge in here, but ultimately I think price will trade through it, and then it will act as a resistance. So if we go through then it will act as resistance, and then we continue going into the 106.27 level. So that's still our downside objective, 106.27. so let's anticipate price going to that level going forward, right? So in terms of trade ideas, euro will resume going up. I think it came to a similar level. Let's go to the 15. It came to this gap here, right there. Now why did I pick this? Because we had a run below this low, and then price rejected. So that was the nearest fair value gap that existed. It actually formed outside the time that I will usually pick in terms of fair value gap. So if you can look through that, okay, ICT call it cutting through candles. Okay, so if you cut through the candles, you will see that on the other side there is time of the day that price created a fair value gap. So instead of using this one, then you use that, because that would still be a level within the algorithm for price to trade back to. So if now I go back to where price reversed from, you see price respecting this level and that level, and that's where price rejected. So I'm expecting a continuation to the upside. I actually did not buy any of this level. I bought this morning. I think I bought right here. Yeah. When I woke up, I saw that the dollar index rejecting. That's when I saw that. I think I woke up around 5 here. So upon waking up and seeing that we've actually gone through, because if I was awake, which I was, but I was not looking at price action. I have a life. I don't spend all the time in front of the screen. So when this was happening, I was actually not in front of the screen, so I didn't see none of that. So when I woke up around 5, the price was here. So I immediately went on to the euro, because remember I said when we do get a reversal, I prefer euro because there's room to the upside. Even though British pound is not bad, but I prefer euro because there's room to the upside. Okay. So then I bought right here, time of the day 7, then price went up. I think it's gonna continue going up from here. Our first objective is the weekly opening price. So the weekly opening price comes in at, I'm sorry guys, let me turn off my Telegram. Okay, the opening price for the weekly comes in at, let me anchor that properly, there we go. So it comes in at 1.04956. that is our first objective for this trade. So you're gonna hold on to that till we get there, and then the second is 1.05339. okay, now like I said, I prefer that over euro. Even when it comes to the Aussie and New Zealand, I prefer the New Zealand. It actually traded to yesterday. I gave you this breaker to buy and then leave your stop loss here. I missed it. I didn't take the trade. I missed it. So this morning when I saw they've taken out Wednesday's low and then rejected, I did find a level over here. So that's another level to keep an eye on. So if we happen to retrace, then you buy the New Zealand dollar to go and attack the previous week high or this week's high. Okay, so you can choose which one to trade over the course of, today, tomorrow, even next week, because I will expect them to continue going up. So keep this level. I think it's a very good level. It happened over the Asian time, which is not a bad time. When it comes to New Zealand, it's actually traded during the Asian session most of the time. So the fair value gaps forming in Asia is good. I wouldn't use a fair value gap forming in Asia on euro, because euro is not Asian pair, Asian session pair, but New Zealand is, so as is Australian dollar. So if there is a gap formed during the Asian session, then it's good. What time does Asian session start? In my opinion, 2. So between 2 and 6. Where is it? Yeah, here. Between 2 and 6. If any gap forms during that time on an Asian pair, then you can use it. Okay, so Australian dollar, Aussie yen, New Zealand yen, if any gap forms between 2 and 6, it's okay to use it, especially if there's a random stop, which you can clearly see they did take out this low and then reject it. So this will be a good level to anticipate if we come back there for a buy. Right? Okay, let's continue. Aussie, they've actually moved higher already. So watch this. It did form the low at the level I was looking for. These two levels. That's why I anticipated the low of the week forming, right? And then price rejected. Watch this auto block here and the fair value gap. Not for probably this week, but it could be for next week or even tomorrow. So watch here. Especially if you go to the 1 hour time frame, it's right there. Right, so between this low and whatever high will form, this would be a good level. Or just buy on the H4, buying this and then placing your stop loss below that. Right in here like this. Okay, buying the high and then expecting them to continue going higher. This is an objective, and right above this there's a small little gap over there that will also be an objective. So you can take your profit off here. Okay, so that's the Australian dollar for you. What else? Euro New Zealand price failed to give the entry. The entry was, I think, the opening price. If you sold the low, then you'd be in a nice trade. But if you didn't, then you missed the trade. I actually missed the trade, so this is the new trade that I'm actually looking for going forward. Selling these candles low and then expecting them to drop here for this week. So for this week, this is the target I'm looking for. It can go beyond that, but I'm just looking for that. So if we can sell these candles low, then target this level. Euro Aussie, it actually went just above the high and then rejected. So if you did take this trade, you probably would have got stopped out, but it still played out. Right now, that will happen more often than not. So when I'm taking trades like this, especially if I'm going to sleep, I'll leave room for in case they want to do these kind of things, especially on these pairs. Right, sometimes they can just go just above a high and then reject and continue going in your favor. So if you did take this one and you got stopped out, no problem, just aim for another potential entry here, and our target still remains in here. That's where I think price is gonna go. If you sold with me last week, then that's fine, you're still in the trade. Yesterday I gave a trade idea looking for an entry here that did not come through. This one I personally did not place the limit because I had the limit here, so I didn't anticipate that happening. So I still have my limit here, apart from the entry that I have, I think up in here. I still have a limit here. Then Euro New Zealand, I think I've talked about this. Pound New Zealand, that's the one for some reason I placed an entry right at the candles low. So when I woke up, I was surprised that I got triggered in that trade. So right here, I think yesterday we talked about it. If we come between these candles low and the opening price, can sell short. So after the session, I just casually, I was like, you know what, why not just place it there and then leave it. Who knows, maybe you'll come, maybe you'll not. And then when I woke up, I happened to have got triggered in that trade. So let's see how far it can go. I think it's gonna trade to this gap and then maybe pause. So selling this up candle, if we pull back, that would be a nice.
The food is ready. The food is ready.
Okay. Sorry guys, I apologize. my son just came in just to tell me that food is ready. My lunch is ready. Anyway, so if you can place a sell limit here, right, and then continuation to the downside, I think they can go all the way down here and attack this low. So just place a sell limit, and then who knows, you might get triggered like I did get here. I think that's it for the currencies. Oh, lest I forget, Aussie CAD and New Zealand CAD, they've resumed the uptrend, and since last week I've not looked at them, so I've missed all these moves to the upside. But it's gonna continue going up anyway, so this week closure will give more confirmation, and then next week we'll start looking for more trade ideas on this particular one. It's been a little bit of a mess down here with all these weeks, so I think next week would be the good week to actually start looking into these two pairs again, right, and that one. Okay, so next week we will look at them. This week just leave them alone, because it's going to confirm that we are going higher, and then next week we can look for trade ideas on them again. Gold. So gold, I think I gave you my opinion on it yesterday, that they've gone above this high. It could reject immediately and start going lower, but if you buy the down candle, leaving your stop loss here, then probably we could catch a continuation to the upside. And they happen to take out the low and then immediately reject. So as it stands, I am on the sidelines. It could go down, it could go up. I don't like that idea, especially today being Thursday, right? So for me this week, gold is done what it needs to do, which is going from here to attack that previous week high, and that's it. Hence, if you took the trade, which I did, I'll be honest with you, I did take the buy because it was looking good, especially rejecting this fair value gap here. I took the trade and then I got stopped out. So I'm done on gold for the week. I did get that trade and then got out, and then yesterday I was looking for the continuation and they kicked me out. So it is what it is. I'm done on gold for now. I don't want to do anything with gold for this week. Hopefully this week will close above this, and then next week I'll look for a continuation to the upside, especially if the day can close above this high. Then I'll look for a potential buy going into next week. As of this week, my agenda on gold is done. All right. Crude oil price couldn't give a push above the gap. It actually rejected. So today I'm looking for it to reject and go lower. I did mark a level on the 1 hour chart. 15 minutes. This fair value gap over here, to see if they can come above it, just above this high, this gap, which happened during the New York session. All right, if they could get there, then I'll be selling to come down here. It seems they are not doing it, especially with this candle trading through this gap. So we might see a continuation to the downside to attack this low. Okay. Now I would have preferred a short up here. That would be much better. So if you can, because anything is possible in price, they could just run up quickly and then reject and go lower. The other alternative trade would be selling exactly where we are placing your stop loss here and then looking for that low, right, as a target, because they've traded through the gap. So this down candle is likely to be taken out, and then it might leave a fair value gap here. If we come back up, we might hit that fair value gap and continue going lower. Yeah, I will let him know. Ken is a big boy now. I'll let him know. Okay, so if you can go through this down candle, it might leave a gap here, and then we will continue going lower. If not, then I prefer this one, okay, if I'll be honest, because it will give the impression that we are going higher, and if we get there, then I'll look for this particular pattern to form up here. That's when I'll look to sell. But where we are now is not bad, because that's OTE, this high to this low. Okay, that's OTE, so it's not bad as an entry. So the question is, which one would you choose? I like this one. Will I sell where we are now? Definitely not. Yeah, I like this one. But if we break this and then we leave the gap here, then I will sell the pullback to that gap, right? So that's that. And then ES, yesterday I got a beautiful trade on that. I was having a live session with one of my private students, and I bought let me show you the execution. There, so I bought that candle, and then I got out here. I actually got out at the equal high, so that was the target. If you did watch yesterday's session, you'll see I was pointing to the potential OTE buy here and then going up after the first trade idea that I gave got stopped out. So watch this, because we are likely to go and attack this core and the high that I've been talking about for a long time, which is this one here. Okay, and I think we're gonna continue going up today, hence I'm looking for a buy. Now this level right here, it comes in at 6139.25, so between 6139.25 to 6138.25, anywhere in that area, you can buy and then aim for yesterday's high. Okay, when I woke up and I saw that level, I was like, okay, that looks like a great level for price to come to and go up. And then London session, I saw price going, I was like, oh damn it, I think they're not gonna go. Then it came back down. I was like, yeah, that's it. So this is a trap. All the lows, all the stops below this low is gonna be taken, and then they will potentially go up. So watch it during the, again, purple line, because I've noticed that they like trading, or they like moving ES during that purple line. Right now, if you are in the States, let me change the time so you can look at that purple line. It's actually from 9, okay, so 9 a.m. EST to 11. In between those two times, that's where you're looking for the buy. So we've got about it's now 8:15, so you've got about 45 minutes, then it'll be 9. In that time, that's when you want to start looking for the potential buy on ES. Okay, so that's that for ES. I'll probably come back to this later, because I like it, so we'll come back if you do have time after I go through all the other pairs, then you can look at it. There was another trade idea, this pair USD Swiss. You can see I have a sell on that. I think price is meant to come for this low, which comes in at 0.89652. I think that's where price is coming for, so look for continuation to the downside. Right, this is the breaker, this down candle right here, that's the breaker, and that's where I was selling short at. I happened to sell, it gave me the entry right here, but I was actually selling the breaker. Right, so maybe if you want to take the trade, sit patiently and wait a little bit, because it's going to print an order block during this time of the day, which will be very, very good. Once that 1 hour candle closes, any pullback, you sell it, place your stop loss above the breaker, this down candle. Don't place it above this high, because this pair is crazy. When I say crazy, literally it's crazy. It can run some levels that are high probability. For example, this one here, right? It's a nice order block, but they run the high before going lower. Okay, so Swiss pairs are crazy. That's what I can say. Hence, you want to be careful, because anytime they go through a high, especially if there is an auto block or a fair value gap, sometimes it will not respect it, and then it will just go just above it, reject, and then go lower. Okay, so if you close this candle, instead of you selling where I've given the trade idea and placing your stop loss above it, don't do that, because again you might get stopped out and then price will go in your favor. Okay, so that is that for the dollar Swiss. I'll come back to it tomorrow to tell you when price gets here. Alright, let's continue. Let's go over to the cryptocurrencies. Starting with hype. Hype is just in a mess, right? So buying down here or selling up there, that is still the case. I'm gonna keep dragging it until we break away from this. Probably next month we'll move away, because this month is looking like an accumulation month, right? So next month we will probably move away, so don't look for the buy yet. We've got one more week for this month to end, and then next month you can start looking for a potential move. I don't know, could be up, could be down, but you know, I prefer the upside. So let's see. Ripple, yesterday or 2 days ago, I gave you a buy idea down here, and like I said, I regret not sending it in the portal for the private members to get access to it. But if you watch the live sessions, then you know what's up. I don't think we will go above this high yet. They might keep, playing around in here. It can go up there. That's the target, by the way. So if you're in there, that's the target. However, like I'm saying, it can stay in this down candle here till end of the month, before next month we start going higher. Hence, just if you're in it, just stay in there. Okay, just make sure your stop loss is there, and then you're good to go. Now, if you miss the entry, can you buy again? Yes, but you be too late. But they have this down candle here, so it could be protected. Let's see a level within that. let's find a level within that and see if they can come back to it. Okay, so watch. Let me take away this. Okay. Watch right here. Oh, let me see. Yeah, these two, this one and that one. Any of the two you can buy. So I like the second one. First one is not bad either. Any of the two. Okay, so you decide, and then your stop goes below that low. So I'll put it at the first one, and then if it happens to hit this, you're in. The idea is this low to this high. That is OTE 0.618, and this is 70.5, which is a perfect level. So any of the two will be good, right, for the continuation. I'll actually send this, fingers crossed I'll remember. Let me write it down. Okay, I'll remember to send it to the community. That's if they pull back. Alright, that's all. It looks like today is looking to close above the gap. Not the best kind of move, but it is what it is. So if we can close above it, like I said, we'll probably be trading up in here, but I will not be anticipating a complete reversal to go up. If today can close as it is, then they are likely to come up here. All right, so watch today's price action. Watch today's price action. If they can close above where we are, which is this, if they can close above it, then especially even above the weekly opening price, then you can look for buy ideas to trade up in here. When it does confirm by the close of the day, I'll see if I can find a trade idea on it. Yeah, I'll wait for the day to close and then I'll look for the buy idea, because I don't like giving ideas when I'm expecting an algorithmic principle to confirm what I'm looking for. Because if they don't close, like yesterday, the fact that they couldn't close, I'm not confident buying today, because it could have gone down. So the same thing, if we don't close above it today, then there's a probability all of that move was to form a swing, and then the next candle is going to do something like that and then go down. Okay, so that's why it's important to wait. Now surprisingly, this one has surprised me. Touch key. I wasn't expecting that big move, but it is what it is. So that weekly close is what is needed now. The daily has closed above the previous week high, which if we can confirm today's closure as an up candle, definitely it would have left it down, a fair value gap down here. So that would be positive for a potential move, but still not bullish yet because of this whole big wick stuff going on. So we will still be trading actually inside. Ignore that wick, that's manipulation. So this high, this high to this low, we still be trading in there, right? And the price will likely go somewhere here, right? So the weekly close for me will be key for this week. If we can close bullish this week, Then next week we can start looking for some buy ideas, but still not bullish for me, because the weekly time frame we are going against an up candle. Okay, order flow is bearish. Okay. Up candles holding, up candles holding, so we are going lower. Hence, buying will not be the best idea. However, this is a new, it's like a new coin, or a new, I would say a new chart, because I don't look at the name, I look at the chart. It's a new chart to me, or you don't have enough data to prove whether order flow is bullish or bearish. Okay, so a closure today can give a buy idea to trade up into that area, and then that'll be it. Then you wait till next week, and then we see what price is gonna give us. AI 16, I think I said something that at the end of the month, by the end of this month, we'll have more reasons to anticipate price going up. So for now, it's either you buy where we are, because it's now at a cheaper price again. So buy it, hold it, and let's see what price is gonna do by the end of next month. Not this month, next month. And if you don't get in, price might shoot up and you will not be in it, like this one did. I was surprised to see that yesterday. Okay, so if you're not in it, then when it gets up here, it'll be too late. Even though it's not late, but I'd rather buy at 30 than buy at 70. All right. Okay, let's look at Solana. I am anticipating a move above the up candle on the H4. This one, if you can go above it, then I'll look for buy ideas. As long as we're below it, we might come back below this low. Okay, so not a great idea. Can you sell it? If you want to, you can actually do that. Selling stop loss down here, that would be the best thing to do right now. But do you want to do that? Not when you are rejecting a low like this. So it's 50-50. It can keep going down to attack this low, or it can break it. Which one would I do? None of the above. Okay, I'm not touching it. But if you want to do something logically, then selling would be the logical thing to do, because it's dropping. Bitcoin still in a sideways market, so sit and wait. Ethereum, just ignore that. And then hype, I think we've talked about hype. I'm looking for that previous week low to be taken, and that's pretty much it. The cryptos are not giving much. That is why I was saying you need to diversify, because if you don't diversify, then in conditions like this, it's easy to get beaten by the market, and it might feel that trading is not for you, because you're looking at something that is not going to give you much in terms of movement. Okay, it's stuck in a consolidation. So if you don't diversify, these kind of conditions can, I'm gonna use a word, excuse me for my French, it can drive you nuts. Okay, it can drive you crazy, because it's not gonna move for you to if you are in profit, it's not gonna move for you to see that you're making profit, and it might even stop you out and still be valid to go up or down depending on the direction you're trading. Okay, learning to identify consolidation is a hard thing, but once you identify it, you have a choice. Either you trade at the extremes or you don't do anything. Okay, That's what Bitcoin has been doing. Either you trade at the extremes or you don't do anything, because if you do anything in between the extremes, you will get punished, because it can't go anywhere. It can come into the middle and then you might expect it to go up and then it'll come back down. Or even where we are, you might expect it to go up and then it'll come back down. But when it's at that level, then the best thing to do is to buy it, because it's gonna reject and go up, right? 1 up, 2 up, 3 up. So anytime it touches that red level, that's when you want to start looking for buy, not when it's above it. Okay, all right, let's go back to the currencies. Let's look at ES. Definitely watch this. Okay, no, I can't stress that enough. Watch this one. Now let's go to the 5-minute chart. That's how the level looks like. And yesterday that was my entry right here. So I was watching on the both the 5 minutes and the 1 minute. Yesterday got stopped out. I think. Okay, let me show you some of the futures that I took. The first one that I took was on the 1 minute chart. Yes, that was 2 days ago. I took a sell here because I anticipated them going for this low. So it was a quick one. In here, get out there, right? And then when it got down here, I started anticipating a move to attack this low here. So the first one that I took was here. I was selling that gap to go down, and I got stopped out here. And then I took another trade here, and then I got out there. Okay, so this one I was expecting them to go here. I sold the gap, stopped me out, no problem. I still anticipated them going lower. They were just playing around. This entry was based on a 15 minutes fair value gap and a 1 hour high. Once they went above it and rejected, I sold, but I didn't place my stop loss above that. Okay, I placed it above. There's a gap on the 1 hour, and then stayed in it. Then they went to the target. Then that was it. Yesterday I bought this at the breaker, left my stop loss here, and then again I left it, and then I got out there. Alright, so today I'm doing the same thing. I'm gonna be looking for a buy right in here. That's all I want to do. If they don't come here, I'm not interested. Right? If they don't come to this gap, I'm not interested. You can do whatever you want. So that's the level you want to be buying. Okay, so probably it might come during 9:30. So 9:30, watch from 9:30 EST or 2:30 GMT. That's the time to watch that level. Okay. All right. I've got about 15 minutes to go. So let's see. If I can look at other pairs for ideas. Let's look at the crude oil again. Okay, So the crude oil is coming up. There is a video that I want to recommend. I don't know how to recommend it, but let me see if I can find it. It was an interview done by a guy. I watched it when I woke up this morning. Okay, so if you go onto YouTube, type in Wall Street Trader, I will expose exactly how the market algorithm works. So if you go to YouTube, type in Wall Street Trader, I will expose exactly how the market algorithms work. Okay, now it's an hour and 35 minutes long video. I don't expect you to watch it, but if you're watching it, right, they do have segments. They've broken the entire interview in segments, so you can actually look at where he's talking about algorithms. There's 2 segments that he talked about algorithms, so you can go and watch just those 2 segments of the entire interview. Ignore the rest. Okay, the rest is just I'll say bull crap. But what I'm interested in is for you to listen to what he talks about when it comes to the algorithms, because the algorithms are designed to do something and it doesn't care. Okay, it's designed to do something and it doesn't care. It doesn't care whether someone is buying, it doesn't care whether someone is selling, it doesn't care about stops. It's designed to go to a certain place and that's it. Okay, and that's exactly what I'm trying to show you here. These markets are designed to go to certain places. These markets are designed to go to certain places, and if you know how to spot them, that's where trading opportunities form. And I was shocked to see that this old veteran is trading gaps. He's an old guy and he's trading gaps. He said he bought NQ and he said exactly the time that I said, right? He said 9:26. I said 9:30, right? He was buying at 9:26. So here, remember I was saying 9. Look at from 9 to 9:30. He bought at exactly 9:26. That was 2 months ago. The video was published 2 months ago. But he was saying that he bought Nasdaq and he said a gap, and I'm thinking this man is too old to be knowing about gaps, and he's not an ICT student. Far from it. He looks like he's never even studied anything from ICT, right? But he was talking about how he bought a gap, and there are algorithms in the market that are designed to do specific things, right? It's designed to go to a specific area, and he actually talked about how gaps are formed. It's a brilliant interview, but I don't expect you to watch all of it. Okay, just watch just that 2 segments that he talks about algorithms. The first one, he talks about how he got his Nasdaq entry, and that's when he explained what gaps are. And then the second one, he actually talks about what I've been hammering about, how institutions comes into the market. Now, I observe the charts. He is talking from experience at the trade floor. Okay, so you can bridge the 2, because from his perspective, he sees it. I'm just this little guy in my room just watching the candlesticks, but I can read what the market is doing based on how the institutions come in, and he talks about it that when market is going to a certain level, okay, there are people that have huge lots of money, and that money needs to be put to work. It has to. The money needs to be put to work, because it's not about having a hedge fund and having lots of money and not trading it. Therefore, the money needs to work. Now, how are they going to put the money to work? They have to get into positions when most people are wrong. Okay, they have to get into positions when most people are wrong, and that's exactly what I've been trying to expose, which is the elephant in the room. Because the size of their contract, or the size of their money, is too big to print mini mouse candles. So when price is aggressively dropping, right, especially to a fair value gap, that's them. Okay, that's them. And then all of a sudden price shoots up. Or when price is aggressively going for a low, okay, that's where stop losses are going to be. That's where they want to hunt for their positions. So the second segment of the video, he actually talks about market makers and how if you don't position yourself well, then brilliant investors like himself will be buying where you be taking out. Okay, you'll be buying where you be taking out. So for example, yesterday gold, guess who was buying here? Someone smart, right here. Because as it was dropping, right, guess what? Most stops are going to go below this low, and then that's where they're going to buy, because that's how they have to buy. They can't buy it when it's going up. It's not going to profit them, or they're not going to make any money when it's going up. No one is going to take the side of their position anyway, because trading is both buy and sell. It's a conviction between a buyer and a seller. If right now where price is, right, there's a buyer and there's a seller. At every single price point, there's a buyer and a seller. So the buyer is convinced that price is going to go up, the seller is convinced that price is going to go down. That's why there's a buy and sell happening at every single price point. Okay, if you don't understand these dynamics in price, and you think you're just gonna buy without having understanding what's happening in the market, then good luck with that, because eventually you will learn it the hard way. So that's what happened here. Someone smart bought from me where I placed my stop loss. I was trying to be smart, but they outsmart me, right? And then they bought and the price went up. Okay, so like I said, go watch that video. Just watch those two segments. The title of the video is Wall Street Trader. I will expose exactly how the market algorithm works. Now, it doesn't actually expose anything, but he talks about it's a good title to put on YouTube, because it's gonna get people to search for it. But it's only two segments. It's an hour and 30 minutes long, 35 minutes long, but it's only two segments that he talks about the algorithm. So it's a good watch. Anyway, back to yes. So that's why I'm talking about the 9:30. Okay, just sit and wait. At exactly 9, start watching price, and you see it will be driven there, because the algorithm is designed to go there. It says that the algorithm is designed to go to specific levels, very, very specific, and it doesn't care if you're a buyer. It doesn't care if you're buying here. If it's designed to go there, it will go there. That's why if you learn about gaps, okay, if you learn about fair value gaps, you're gonna get incredible trade entries like this one here. And what happened right here? There was a gap, this little mini gap here. So as price was driving down, yes, there was this one, which is a void, another type of gap. So right here price was meant to go up, but time of the day was not right. Okay, and then at 9:30, time of the day was right. They drove it down to a specific level, and then price went up. Same thing over here. At 9, it creates, or 9:30, it creates a gap here, and they use that same gap to sell price to attack this low. Okay, so the algorithms are there. You just have to learn how it looks like, and then you trade them. Anyway, I've gone on a rant for about 10 minutes, and we've got about 3 minutes to go, so I think I'm good to end the session here, and then we will continue on tomorrow, same time, 1 p.m. GMT. I'll be live. Alright, so take care of yourselves, and I will see you tomorrow.